Hi friends, and we're going to visit today another edition of Michelle's Video Preschool Classroom. Today we're going to read This Way Ruby by Jonathan Emmett. Once upon a time, upon a nest beside a lake, there lived a family of ducks, a mother duck, a father duck, and 5 little ducklings. 4 of the ducklings were big and bold and were always rushing off in search of an adventure. Their names were Rufus, Rory, Rosie, and Rebecca, but the 5th duckling was small and steady and took things slowly in her own time. Her name was Ruby. It was a bright spring day, and Mother Duck and Father Duck were snoozing in the sun. "Let's go and explore," said Rufus, running down splash into the water. Rory, Rosie, and Rebecca ran straight after him, but Ruby stayed in the nest. "This way, Ruby," called the others. Ruby did not want to be left behind, so she swam after them. Ruby caught up with them at the edge of the reed beds. Rufus, Rory, Rosie, and Rebecca raced off through a gap in the tall green stems. Ruby stopped and looked around. She saw a small waterfall that sparkled in the sun, and a great golden fish that glimmered in the depths. "Look," said Ruby, but the others did not stop. "This way, Ruby," they called. Ruby joined the other ducklings in the middle of the reed beds. Rufus, Rory, Rosie, and Rebecca rushed off down the winding waterway. Ruby stopped to look around. She saw the water lilies with their bright purple flowers, and that 4 fat frogs that lay lazing on the leaves. "Look," said Ruby, but the others did not stop. "This way, Ruby," they called. Is Ruby ever going to catch up with her brothers and sisters? Ruby found the other ducklings at the far side of the reed beds. Rufus, Rory, Rosie, and Rebecca ran straight up the grassy bank. But once more Ruby stopped to look around. She saw the dragonflies that wove along the water line and the willow trees that bent across the bank. And she saw a big black storm cloud that was sweeping across the sky. "Look," said Ruby, but the others did not stop. "This way, Ruby," they called. I wonder what that cloud's going to bring. Rufus, Rory, Rosa, and Rebecca were rambling through the long grass when a flash of lightning lit the sky above them, and a crash of thunder filled the air. "This way," they cried, and they all ran off in different directions, and then ran back again. They were lost, and they were scared, and they wanted to go home, but they didn't know which way to go. The ducklings huddled together anxiously as something rustled through the grass. I wonder what it is. It was Ruby. Ruby was scared too, but she didn't know which way to go. She spotted the top of the willow tree sticking up from above the long grass. "This way," called Ruby. Ruby knows what to do. Ruby led the other ducklings down the bank and out onto the water. Then she spotted the bright purple flowers floating among the reeds. "This way," she called. Ruby arrived at the water lilies and stopped. The water lilies wound off in many directions, and they all looked the same. She could not see which way to go. What are they going to do next, friends? We'll have to find out. "Which way, Ruby? Which way?" cried the other ducklings as the big black storm cloud moved across the sun. "Shh," said Ruby. Then she swam around slowly until she could hear the gurgling of the waterfall. "This way," she said, following the sound. Ruby remembered the waterfall. "Where have you been?" called Father Duck as the ducklings popped out of the reed beds. "We had an adventure," panted Rufus, "and we got lost," gasped Rory. "But Ruby found us," said Rosie, "and brought us home," said Rebecca. "Well done, Ruby," said Mother Duck proudly. Ruby was already gone. Where did Ruby go now? The storm cloud had moved off, but Ruby felt that they'd done enough exploring for one day. It was time to go home. "This way, everyone," called Ruby. Look, she's going to take our whole family home now. Ruby's very smart. She stops, looks, and listens where she is, which is very important. It's important that when you go out with Mommy and Daddy that you look at where you are and what's there, so that if you get lost, you can find someone to help you, like a police officer or another grown-up in a store, and then they can help you find your mommy and daddy. And also, ducks remind us of spring. It is springtime now, friends, and you can see the rain falling and the flowers growing and the vegetables growing in your gardens at home. So my homework for you tonight is to see if you can draw a duckling. So you're going to start out with an oval shape for the body, and then a circle for the head. On the head you're going to add a beak, and on the back of the oval you're going to make a little triangle for the tail, and then you're going to add 2 feet and then make a face on your duckling, and then you'll have a duckling of your very own that you can hang up on your refrigerator tonight. Thank you for watching my video, and have a great evening. Bye bye.